Okay. You know what? I mean, I'll start off just to me. It's great to be here. You know, going our 9th season. Always looking forward to new kids coming in, stepping in. When it's on the whole, offensive line, offense in general. So to me, we're looking forward to the season getting started today. And I think the kids have had a great summer. From just meeting, getting with them the last couple of days, getting back. I think they're very productive, and they're starting to take that ownership and leadership we're looking for. So we're looking forward to starting practice today. Any questions you guys have, feel free.
Hey, John, I stand this as well, but what made Elgin Jenkins the right pick for center?
Well, I think Elton is last year played guard for us in the end of the season, played tackle for us at the beginning of the season. The year before that, played tackle, and even during the bowl practice, there was a lot of center. Knowing that was going to be kind of going into this year with Jamal leaving last year was, okay, who's going to be that position? And then through a lot of the bowl practice, Elton played center and guard through that with Dion being hurt going into the bowl game. So it was, it's a natural fit for kids that you see in the program. Hey, the first thing I was looking for with the center is can they communicate? Okay, because they're the center of everything. And in all the years doing this is that guy's going to set both sides going. So to me, he's got a great knowledge of the game. He's a communicator, likes to talk. So to me, he did a great job in there, that bowl practice of it. So to me, and he's played a lot of football, so he's got a lot of that knowledge to what's going on, playing different positions already. It's not much of a transition for him going in there. So to me, I'm looking forward to watching him, go at it today. And he's done a great job again all summer. And it's, again, talking to him as he's had the questions of how's it going to be different. In some parts, it's easier because you got two guys next to you and you're playing somewhat in a phone booth. But that's the big communication that comes on the center for me. Different than being a tackle where you're on kind of an island by yourself. Here he's got people around him, so it's just a matter of getting them going the right way is the biggest thing for him. But, having knowledge of the game, I think that's the biggest thing. And Martinez had all spring doing center, which is the same thing. He's accumulated a lot of knowledge since he's been here at the game. So to watch him do it during the spring, so you have two good guys that have very good knowledge of the game, that are good leaders for me, that it's fitting for them.
Coach, you've got some returning starters on the left side and at center, but the right side of the line looks to be kind of in transition. How do you see those position battles breaking out? Yeah,
we might flip a couple guys over right and left. Just I talked to Dion about that. If Dion going over to the right side a little bit, just to help, in a sense, like Stuart, Greg, where younger guys are. Daryl's played a little bit last year. Daryl's been around. He's had a lot of reps. Through the spring, he did a great job. I think had a great spring. And then for him was, hey, go over there. Martinez has more experience. It kind of helps them. And then Elton being in the middle is going to help everybody. I think the biggest thing is the right tackle with, it has the least amount of experience. That's why, to me, Dion has the most experience. This way he's over there helping them, just get through with calls and communication and do that stuff through camp here.
Coach, obviously Martinez had a very good second half of the season last year. When did you kind of see as his coach that light come on and really he start to get comfortable?
I think weekly with him. Each week he got better and better because I think he's a terrific kid. He's very conscious about what he does. It's important to him. On the field, off the field, everything he does. He comes from a great family. So to me, you saw it. You saw it in recruiting with him, and you saw it through his first year in his red shirt. And really, to me, I learned a lot with him. Was after he got here in the spring out of junior college, and after spring of, going into the season, him understanding, a lot of kids come out of junior college, I'm the starter, I'm the right guy. And once you verbalize to them, here's the situation. You can go in there not knowing half the stuff you're doing and play a season, or get a year under your belt of practice and all those other things. You're matured, now you have 2 full years to get, and I say 2,000 reps compared to 1,000 reps of knowing what you're doing and 500 of not knowing what you're doing. And he understood it. To me, even after the first game he played last year, or the game in LSU, he came back and said, imagine if he did this a year ago. He's like, no. I said, so it's something that he understands it and he learned it and he wants the best for him and the best for the program. So I think that was, you see the maturity with him doing that. And it came weekly.
Going off of that with Martinez, he seems like a guy that's coming in with a lot of accolades and preseason just hype in general. What is the biggest part of his game that you look at to make sure he's going to reach that ceiling or reach that potential?
Play the way he's supposed to play. The preseason stuff, and we had discussion the last 2 weeks about it with him. It's preseason stuff. I said preseason a lot of things. I said they predict us every season. They predict this, that, and everything. I I said, the media has a frenzy with what they want to put as a preseason, what they say, first, second round pick, or any stuff like. I said, you got about 9 months to figure that out and work that out. I said, really, all that stuff means nothing until the next 4 months you figure it out and play the way you're supposed to play, do what you're supposed to do, and don't worry about all that stuff. That stuff will come after you perform and do what you're supposed to do. He understands that. So to me, I said, you start worrying about those things, you're going to have nothing in the end. I said, they're going to get you again. And the other aspect of it, I said, it's just the process you've been going through since you've been here. Stay on that process, and everything will take care of what needs to take care in the end.
You, Dan, and Billy have kind of shared the play calling duties over the last couple of years. How have you kind of made that work in the communication on game days?
I guess we've sat together for 17 years. It's hard to say that, and really, it's been, I think it's 17. We were talking about that the other day. I think it's been that long. So it's kind of one of those things of, it works. I guess if you had to break it down, well, here's exactly how, is he going to call this play, is he going to call this play, call that play? It's kind of, I guess we know each other well enough now that here's how it's going to work. So it's, on game day, it kind of goes. I hate to put an exact science on here's how it's going to work, or hey, this week we're going to do this, this week we're going to do this. We all have a great understanding of the offense. We all have a great understanding of our kids. So when it comes down to it, here's the situation, hey, what can your kids do? What can we do here? What do you see? And, it's just a great feel for each other. And again, we've worked together a long time, so it works well.
What were your impressions of the young tackles, Stuart Reese and Greg Allen, this spring? And who else do you think could possibly work at right tackle where Stuart is too?
It was really, right now, to me, you mentioned Stewart, you mentioned Greg. Tyree came in, had a good spring, learned, see how much he transitioned over the summer. Evans Wilkerson has done a great job since he's been here, and so there's 4 guys that can do it, and it can come to anything. But those 4 guys are really going to camp, competing for what they're going to compete for. And Ronald Coughlin's played a lot of tackle. He's played a lot of reps. Just hasn't played a lot in a game. But there's really 4 or 5 guys there going competing for that job, and I told them all. I told Martinez the same thing. I said, there's 5, 6 guys competing for tackle jobs. Make sure you do your job to maintain what you have. I think everything is, I tell them, every committed camp, every job's open. I said, because during the summer, some kids mature and learn and get going and want to play, and they realize they want to play, so they start pushing themselves and working a little harder to get that. So, we'll see as we go through camp.
Maybe I'm a little slow, but I didn't quite catch it. Where do you want Deion Kelvin to play, left side or right side, and how do you feel about the quality of depth that you guys have?
He'll start on the right side today. We'll go to today, he'll be on the right side. Just again, like we talked about, is we'll have the right tackle positions, the one with the least amount of experience. Okay, so to me, and Deion has the most amount of experience. So to me, the communication, helping those guys with calls and things that we do, just to me, Deion can play both of them. He's played both of them. So it's for him to just go in there and, again, help him a little bit as we go through. And really about, I think, 2 years ago, it was the same thing when I moved guys around because Justin Maloney came in, but make sure he was here. Justin Senior was the whole thing of Justin Senior on the left. Justin Senior was there to help the new guy here. And so it's just to help each other until we get through, and they can all, really all summer, they've all played everything. Like Allen's played all 3. Martinez has played center in there, so we can interchange them. Who's the best 5? That's what they know. Who's the best 5 they're going to go out there, and what's the best scenario for us.
Probably not even a fair question to ask now, but how many players do you expect to play across that offensive line?
Every year I come in the same thing. I got to get 8 ready. I mean, 8 you can get, to me in my mind, 8 to 9 you can get ready for a game. To me, and then really the 9, 10, the 10 and 11 are guys that if we get that far, we have to get that far. But to me, preparation for a game, preparation for everything is I got to walk out knowing there's 8 guys that can go. And that's really, to me, as you look at it, is the 3 tackles, the 3 guards, and 2 centers, and then obviously one of those 8 guys has got to be the 3rd center. So to me, that's that's helped us along the way, and but the 8 guys, so they know what we're doing. They're on everything. When you get to game week, the amount of reps you get, and then you get 9. If you get 9, it's great, and then 10 is an even better bonus. But to me, it's really you want 3 of each to walk out of camp with. If they're 15 ready to play, I'll play all 15. But to me, usually it's just the experience of playing them, and then try to get 9, 10, 11. Their feet wet somewhere in the season so they can start playing.
I'm going to jump ahead.
Sure.
Do you think Do you think it takes longer for offensive linemen to develop than it does other positions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why is that?
Just because, you know, if you're, I mean, this is an offensive line coach's opinion, so everyone's entitled to their own opinion, it's really the physical and mental part of it. You know, again, I look at it as a skilled guy. If you ask a corner who's fast, can jump, a receiver who's fast, can jump, can catch, okay, here's some routes, go do it. I can't hide you. I can't say, hey, we're going to put you in for these 4 or 5 plays and go execute them and do well at it. You know, you look back at some of the young skill guys we've had over the years is, hey, they would be motion guys, hand them the ball off, let them run, let them use their athletic ability. I can't hide those guys. So to me, in the development of the offensive line is A, physical. Because physically, kids come in, yes, they're 17, 18 years old. They haven't been in a college weight program. They're going to go, they might be 300 pounds. The guy they're playing is 300 pounds that's been in a weight program, a college weight program for 4 to 5 years. So physically, they're already mismatched. And then mentally, the speed of the game and the amount of people, the amount of things they have to learn, transition from high school is so much that it takes them time to digest and understand the game. Once they start understanding the game, that's when you'll see the progress start being made. You know, Martinez, the same thing. Coming in here, physically, he was close. Mentally, he was behind. So the mental part of understanding the game was the biggest thing for him, and that's the development of you know, for him, why he's developed faster in the mental part of it than some kids do. Yes. Anything else?